Where is disc golf going? What does the future look like for the sport? The rise of disc golf has exploded since COVID. The pandemic had a huge impact on the economy in some crazy ways, the example being disc golf. Since the pandemic, people from around the world have looked for more outside activities to spend their time. Turns out, disc golf for so many would become their new sport, their new hobby. It was for me at least, but this rapid growth may be slowing down. And for the highest level, changes are coming. What does the future look like? Today's video is sponsored by Elevation Discs, one of the most unique discs in the sport. Made from rubber materials, these disc golf discs are very different from the regular plastic ones out there. Used to counter rollaways, built to stop on a dime, and they have a brand new product for you guys, the Glow G Arowana. I'm a fan of the Arowana. It's a stable putter. You can throw it firmly on a line. It will hold that line and then stop quickly. If you haven't tried out a Rubbermaid disc golf disc, then you need to try out what Elevation has to offer. From putters, mids, to fairway drivers, they have plenty to offer. So go check out Elevation Discs using the link in the description below. Use code RM10 at checkout for 10% off your next order. Alright, back to the video. For the immediate future, we have some changes coming. The pro scene is getting a bit of a shakeup like it hasn't had in a while. I'm excited. I felt the pro tours maybe a little bit stagnant. I like the changes they've made, so let's get into it. First big thing, no more Silver Series. Some of the old Silver Series have been added in to be regular Elite Series events, others are gone. So that's kind of a big deal. A huge part of the tour were the smaller events in between, showcasing some of the local talent mixed with the pros who either liked that course or needed to build up points. But that's just the start, and speaking of starts, that's what is changing. The first event of the Pro Tour, the Las Vegas Challenge, is gone. I don't know if you know that, but that's kind of a big deal. In its place is a new event called the Florida Open. You'll never guess where it is. Pretty much, if you hadn't known about the Throw Down the Mountain Championship, well now it's on the Pro Tour. Some changes coming to that event with Macbeth being part owner of the course. I imagine it's going to be amped up just a little bit. Pretty excited for that start, and then they swing across the country to Texas where the Waco and Texas State swing occur alongside the return of the Open at Austin. Also, the Women's Disc Golf Championship is earlier in this year. After that, well, the tour proceeds like it was before. A lot of the same events, just minus the in-between events that were from the Silver Series. So, pretty similar except for the starting event. And for this big news. The Champions Cup. Due to an infestation from beetles, the Champions Cup courses are being shut down, but hopefully to return at the end of the tour. So 2024 will end with a major at USDGC, the Pro Tour Championship, then the major at Champions Cup. Kind of ridiculous, and I'm a bit suspicious of it. I don't know if that's going to be enough time. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a correction mid-season and just move the event altogether. Hopefully it all works out, but it's been a pretty big move for a major championship, and it's going to result in kind of a crazy season ending for 2024. Is disc golf dying? Seems to be a common phrase thrown around these days, at least it is a bit in my circle. The media may be a little bit too. Is the rise of the sport since COVID gonna last? That seems to be the feeling. Maybe this all won't last. And there might be some stats for it too. A little while ago, a graph went around showing how in 2022, it was the first year in the history of the PDGA that new membership numbers had dropped. That's a long time to go, always improving on the amount of new members, quite impressive. And as you'll see, crazy spike from the COVID addition to the sport. But is this even a good metric to go off of for growth of the sport? Here's what I see. With my nose on the ground, living in multiple states over the last few years, seeing different communities of disc golf grow. I've been playing tournaments for the last few years too, and now I'm not a tournament director or anything, but the consistency of players has definitely improved. And I'll say, it keeps improving. That doesn't seem to have dropped off, at least from my own personal experience. So why is this important? Well, why else would you have a PDGA membership? I really don't see the point of it unless you compete, which they have pretty much cornered the market on disc golf events. So if you're going to play, might as well have a PDGA membership because for most events you need it. And to be sectioned accordingly, you need a rating. I'm not bashing the whole point of the PDGA, I'm just saying that why would you have it if you don't compete? It's important because this is the metric of growth. The first year when we see a decline in new memberships might not be that simple. When I play disc golf over the past few years, I don't see that much addition to events. There is, but that's not the only growth for the sport. It's dads out playing in easy park courses with their kids just getting into the sport, or college kids taking breaks, or just people who are looking for a new activity. Not everyone competes. It's not in everyone to go join up to PDGA and get that glorious rating. Therefore, I don't think it's in everyone to build up the new memberships. Plenty of other ways to measure growth, and the drop in new memberships might not tell the whole picture. But disc golf did have a lot of hype, and I mean, it had a lot. Money was coming to the sport, big name pros were signing really big contracts, new products coming out. That sort of innovation was pushing the sport forward, and it was driven by all these new people in the game. Overall, I think in a few years, there's going to be some drop off for the really chill players. Those kinds of people come and go, but by attracting so many to the growing sport, regulars are now part of the game. Courses that on the weekends used to be free and open are now packed with families out for a good time. I don't think that it's going to go away, and I think that if you don't have a PDGA membership to prove it, that's okay too. What do you guys think about the rise of the sport? It's come a long way in just a few years since COVID, and it's been crazy, but for some, I think they liked it more when there weren't as many people out playing the sport. I'm curious when all of you guys started playing, and by the looks of it, will you keep playing? Thanks for watching. Use the link in the description to go check out Elevation Discs and the new Glow G Arowana. Use code RM10 for 10% off your next purchase. Alright, we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.